I'll go first this time. I think for me, my fourth best manager in the world at the moment has to be Hansi Flick. For me, it's Hansi Flick, and it's Hansi Flick because I think the job he's doing at Barcelona is going under the radar. We all know that Barcelona has been in financial turmoil for about 5 years now. At least it's been mid known to the public for about 5 years now, and it's affected the way they've bought players and sold players as well. So I think Hansi Flick has done a fantastic job in terms of you know bringing out the best out of the academy now. Talking about La Masia, I think he has been able to. I think, to be honest, I think it all started with Xavi, getting back at the club. Xavi
Mm-hmm.
started, infusing the likes of Gerard Martin, Balde, and Sofati, involving them more in the game. Pedri and Gavi as well, and then Hansi Flick took over, put a bit more defensive structure into the team, and they've been progressing ever since. And them winning La Liga last season was absolutely amazing. Um, the heights at which he has pushed the likes of Rafinha and Lamine Yamal is amazing. I think Hansi Flick is a major reason why the likes of Yamal, Pedri, um, Rafinha, and even De Jong were in conversations regarding the Ballon d'Or because they all had brilliant seasons. And yeah, I think Barca has been a very good team. On their day, it's difficult to beat them, even though in recent weeks everyone has been talking about how easy it is to beat them if you just put one player offside,
I
deliver a very low ball to the ground.
offside
It's
trap.
very easy to say that, but I mean, how many teams have been able to do that over, the last couple of seasons? It's difficult. That's just the truth. Yes, you will score goals against them, but it's difficult to beat them. That's just the truth. And yeah, they've been on a recent dwindling form, but hey, it happens to the best of the best. But I do think that they deserve a bit credit for the way they played last season, especially. And when you consider the balance of the team in terms of the age, I think what they're doing is absolutely fantastic, and it's down to Hansi Flick. So for me, my fourth pick is Hansi Flick. Rafa?
Yeah, Antiplic is even higher up for me, but that's literally the amazing work he's doing at Barca. Like even with just what he even said, to even add to it, like you were talking about even the age and everything. I think there was a podcast that what's his name, Fabregas, did one time. He was talking about how big clubs like they never get to promote the youth team, or will I say like the young ones in, and it's why because every season, every club always, I don't know how to put it, every club, there's always like a lot of demand on top teams to like perform. So normally when you bring in a youth player or someone from the youth team in, this player normally it takes time before they get used to this kind of will I say get used to first team football and all that kind of thing. And because of it, normally the club normally suffers. You see where a team is losing and losing because these young players they are still trying to get a hang of it. But it doesn't mean these players are not good. They are very good. But it's just that the fact that first team or senior football normally is like new to them. And what Fabregas was trying to get at is the fact that clubs that usually do well with this, that usually end up getting the best out of this youth team, is usually clubs that are actually forced to play them,
Mm.
basically. Barca, 2, 3 years ago, even that's why I said you were trying to mention Javi was even part of instrumental in them coming. They couldn't sign players that period. And because of it, they didn't have any other option but to play this player, to play all these young boys. And if I think Javi's first season, they actually struggled well. But I think in the second season, they all picked up. You see all of them, Kubasi,
Yeah.
Yamal, what's the other guy? Fermin
Fer
Lopez,
Lopez.
Valde,
Yeah.
Arao, all of
Fermin
them.
as
Like
well.
these are all young, 18, 20 from the same age group and everything. But I think it took time. At the end of the day, you could see that these players are now actually very good. But this club is for them coming in, the club has to be forced to play them because you don't have any option. I think that's what happened to Barca at some point 2, 3 years ago. And I think with Xavi was the first person that pushed them in. And I think when Flick came in, You go into transfer window, Flick is
Mm.
saying, I want to buy this. The club is telling you, this is what we have money for. It's up to you. At the end of the day, you have to play this player. That's what it is. And at the end of the day, they ended up having the best young stars in the world, basically. You look at like Fermin Lopez. Fermin Lopez was a baby,
Mm.
but with him playing consistently, now you could check his value. His value is almost like 100 mil. That's literally most of all the young ones there, and that's where it is. They were forced to do it, but now it's paying dividend and it's working for them very, very well. But I think yes, at Barcelona normally is a blend of youth and experience. I think even in the
Mm.
experienced players they have, I think it's Lewandowski and maybe Frankie. And Frankie, we're calling experience is probably because he's been there for time. Because I
Yeah.
think Frankie was 27 or 28 basically. But Lewandowski basically is probably like one of the most senior players and the most
Mm.
experienced. Because if you look at his whole attack, all of them are all young boys. His partner in crime is an 18-year-old. Now you look back, even Daniel was like 23 or so. You look, all of them are also young, but like we say, like
Mm.
the what's the name, having the mixture of youth and experience is even working for them basically, and it's nice. I
Mm.
think Flick was a manager that understood that, and he continued where Javi started, and it's been working for him. And just like you were trying to talk about Flick here is doing an amazing job
Mm.
basically at the whole side. And for me, like I said, the high. So sorry for dwelling on this. For my fourth
Yeah.
pick is Xabi Alonso. That's my pick, fourth best manager in the world. And why I go with Xabi Alonso is because Xabi Alonso, I look in world football and look at all the young managers that I've seen that have achieved something and moved to a big side and struggle, I say crumble. And Xabi Alonso is doing seemingly well for a manager, will I say, for a young manager to move to Madrid. And at this point, if you check Madrid have been doing so well. I say Jabi Alonso is amazing. So as an amazing manager, amazing, fantastic, fantastic coach. The last 2 3 years at Leverkusen are, will I say, they're in no man's land, and it's all due to Jabi Alonso. By Leverkusen, if you talk about Bundesliga, Bundesliga normally is meant to be a Bayern Munich dominated league, basically. If Bayern don't win the league, the only other team you could just mention or say is probably Dortmund. And in the last 5 years, or let's say in the last 5 or 6 years, the only team that has even come within distance of even Dortmund was probably like, what's the name? Um, what's the name of them again?
Mm.
Leipzig. And Leipzig is
Yeah.
because of
Leipzig. Yeah.
the funding from the Red Bull, what they have that Red Bull connection. So they're able to bring in players from Salzburg and around, and to an extent, I think it's that kind of thing. They have like a chain of network with other clubs where they're able to like even when I say fund their team. That's even why Leipzig are the closest team to even compete with like Dortmund. But we see a team like Leverkusen from nowhere, like they come in and they win the league with, like, it's not just winning the league, they won it in record-breaking style. Like people look at it like I think in irrespective of, I think that's what's the name, the loss to Atalanta in that Europa League final really
Mm.
hurt their, really hurt their PR, because if I believe if they had won that thing, people keep talking about Leverkusen till tomorrow. People haven't really fathomed what he did at Leverkusen. That league,
Mm.
winning that league unbeaten, and even with 90 points, we've seen great Bayern Munich sides coming. We've seen the Bayern Munich sides coming and win the treble twice in this decade, and none of them even came close to 90 points. Not one. The 2013 one that had Robben and Ribery didn't come close to 90 points. The one that had the Hansi Flick side in 1920, they never came close to 90 points. But what's
True.
his name? Jabi Alonso
Very
did
true.
that with a side that, will I say, if you look at the players, before then, no one knew these players. The vet that went to Liverpool, no one knew him before then. It was like a fucking nobody. The vet, he did it with, what's the name? Boniface, did it with
Mm.
Patrick Schick. You look at all the players, like all these people, like before, they were all nobodies. But this is the kind of police, it just tells you the kind of person that Jabi Alonso is. And I'll say, like, Jabi Alonso, to be honest, like, it's all down to, like we were talking about Iraola doing well and this and that. I think all those Spanish managers call, like, they actually did their homework properly. Like when getting their UEFA B
Mm,
license, he just because I think Alonso before going there was in the youth team of Sociedad before getting all the experience coming and then moving to Leverkusen. It was a big task for him moving to
mm,
Leverkusen. That's even going abroad. But he did that, and now going on to win the league was impressive stuff. I think they won like a double that season. If like I said, is the Europa League that took away the whole brilliance of the season they had. Then you now look at the
mm,
season after. Any other person would think that that was probably like something that they did by chance, but they still came second. That's to tell you, like Alonso left Germany and he picked up Leverkusen when he got there and put them in top two